Hello everyone, I'm Miko and welcome to our live session. I'm from Generation 1 Migrant Association, a migrant charity organization based here in Melbourne. Gen 1, in collaboration with AMCCU or the Australian Multicultural Communities United, and AMTV, which is the Aussie Malaysian TV, we are observing Ramadan with a series of digital events. We thank the Department of Multicultural Affairs here in Victoria for making this event possible. We have today another virtual house visit. We're visiting the homes of different Muslim communities in Australia. Our guests will talk to us about their Ramadan experience here in Australia. And today's guest is Nermeen Khan, who is originally from India. And here she is now. Hi, Nermeen. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam. So, how are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here, Nermeen. I see that you are dressed very nicely. Thanks so much for dressing well for us.
Oh, you're welcome. I just don't get an opportunity to wear my traditional clothes. So I thought that this was a nice event for me to actually, wear some traditional clothes.
Thank you so much. Okay, Nermeen, why don't you tell us something about yourself?
Okay, so about myself, I came to Melbourne in 2011. Um, I've Prior to coming to Melbourne, I was in Qatar. I was born and brought up in Doha, and it's been almost I don't know 10 years in Melbourne and in Australia, and I love it. I love Australia. I really like it here. It's a very beautiful, very peaceful country, and I feel very fortunate to. And I stay in the city. I stay in South Bank, and I've my family. I'm with my family. I've got a 9-year-old boy, and I've got my husband, and I've got some of his family members as well. So it's nice. It's been really good, and it's been really good so far.
Nice, nice. That's really interesting, Nermeen. So you've been here for 10 years, and prior to that, you lived in Qatar, and then prior to that, you were in you are originally from India. So it's a lot of cultures that you were able to live through. That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing, Nermeen. Okay, let's jump to our topic today. As you know, we are observing the holy month of Ramadan. And I just wanted to ask you, Nermeen, in your own words, what is Ramadan about? And why do Muslims observe it?
Okay, so as Muslims, we need to follow things, and those things are considered to be obligatory, right? So I know that many, like I think even many non-Muslims would know that we have a lot of rules and regulations. Some people actually Islam to be a very difficult religion because we've got so many restrictions and so many rules and regulations. But now going back to the topic of fasting, so the reason we fast is because fasting is most important things that we need to do as Muslim. So Muslims have to follow 5 pillars, and out of the 5 pillars, one of them is Ramadan, fasting in Ramadan, right? So the reason why Muslims fast is because it's really important. Like, you are a Muslim, fast. It's part of your faith. It's part of your religion. And having said that, most fast. I think majority of the Muslims in different cultures around the world fast, and there are some Muslims who don't fast as well. And what I really want to, what the message that I really want to convey is that, especially and fasting, especially the Muslim way of fasting, very difficult and they find it very harsh. But in truth, fasting is meant just for people who are able to fast. Okay, so not everyone needs to fast. Um, it's meant for people who are mature enough to understand what fasting is about, and it's meant for people who have good health. Okay, so we don't make kids fast. If you have any health issues, you should not fast. So I want to make that clear, that it's not something, that is to burden people. It's something that you do willingly, and it's not something that is forced upon. And if fasting does cause any health problems to people who have existing health problems, it's an absolute no, and as a matter of fact, they should not be fasting. It's not allowed for them to fast. So so it's fasting is basically, Ramadan is basically 1 month of fasting we do every year. And like I said, it's really important for Muslims to observe fasting, because it's one of the important things that we do. Uh, just on the surface level is something that is really important for Muslims if they are following their religion. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I completely understand. Thank you, Nermeen, for sharing that. I
Yeah.
think what's striking about what you said is that um, fasting is not, it's not obligatory. It's not for everyone. It really depends on your own health.
Yes.
If you are physically able to do the fast, then you can do it. Because there could be a misconception that everybody is required to go through it. No, as you said,
Yes.
children are not obligated to. People who have conditions, people who are a bit older, they
Yeah.
could be exempt. Yeah, but also what's striking about what you said is that yeah, fasting is a pillar of Ramadan. That's something that I learned yesterday and the day before. When I spoke to Alpha and when I spoke to Tabay, they all
Yeah.
educated me about that. It's about, you know, the pillars of Islam, which is very interesting. So Ramadan is a foundational part of those pillars, and it's one thing that is expected to be done if you are healthy to do so.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
You've got to go.
yeah,
And Miko, just to point out, I think fasting is something that's done in every religion, right? Even in Christianity, you have the Lent fasting. I've spoken about it before as well. The Jewish religion, they have their way of fasting. So I think it's just, I guess it's part of every religion, and everyone does it in their own way, I guess.
yes. Speaking, I'm a Christian, so yes, we do have days of fasting, particularly on Good Friday. So
Yes,
Good Friday is observed. That sort of marks the crucifixion of Christ.
yes,
So because he sacrificed himself, to save Christians. Christians, they do the same. They fast as a form of sacrifice. Yeah,
yeah,
but it's also similar. It's not required. It is suggested if you can,
yeah,
to show your faith, to show you be it's a very Christian thing to do, to fast. And I think it's the same. It's a very Muslim thing to do the Ramadan. Yeah,
yes, yes,
yeah, yeah.
yes.
So having said that, Nermeen, can you take us through a typical day for you during Ramadan?
Okay, so typical day would be waking up early in the morning. I would say around 4 o'clock, 4 a.m. in the morning, and what I do is I generally have something as breakfast. I probably have a cup of tea, and I could just have something light. It depends. On some days I don't feel like eating because it's too early, and sometimes you don't feel like eating at that time. But I really, really make sure that I have my cup of tea, because we are so addicted to caffeine, and if we don't have that, we can't really it's hard for us to move through the day, right? So I do have a cup of tea, and probably I sometimes would take dates as well, and that's it. So I have a small early morning meal, and then we start our fasting from the time the sun rises. So I hope I'm getting that right. Yeah. So we fast from sunrise to sunset. Okay. So when the sun rises, we start fasting, and we go about the day. We are not, when we do fasting, we are not even allowed to drink water. So I think the first few days you might find it a bit difficult, because your body is not used to it. But then, see, like for example, today is like the 23rd fast for us. So now we're just so used to it, it doesn't even bother us, right? Because your body is now used to fasting for so many days that uh, it doesn't really make you. It doesn't make much of a difference. So you move about the day. You carry on your normal work. Okay. So in fasting, we're supposed to just be normal and carry on your normal work. You're not supposed to just sit at home and sleep the whole day. That's not the way fasting should be done. You carry on your normal day, and just as you would do normally, and then by the time it's closer to sunset, maybe 1 hour before sunset, I go in the kitchen. I try to prepare some things, to some snacks to have at sunset, and at sunset we break the fast. Like we start, we eat everything, and we get back to normal. And then do I go to the night prayers as well at the local mosque. I like to go there because it's nice to meet with the other community members, and it's just a nice feeling, I think, to meet different people. And we spend probably 1 hour there, and then when we come back home, it's just about, we just take it easy, like how you would normally end your day, and then the same thing begins. So you get up the next day the same time, early in the morning. You eat something, then you start fasting. You go about your day as normal as you can, and then once you open your fast, you don't even feel. You know, sometimes you do feel tired. I will not deny that sometimes you might feel a bit tired, um, and that's part of fasting, because when you are not eating much throughout the day, your body does slow down. uh, but having said that, you can make it work for you if you have a really good meal in the morning. Doesn't really uh, it isn't that bad, so it's really about how you manage it. And the amazing thing about the human body, once once you train your body to do something, your body adapts to it, and intermittent fasting is also getting really popular for health reasons.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's all right, like it's been really good. It's been really good for particularly this month, I think, because I was really at home most of the time, so it's been really good for me this month.
Mm, mm. Awesome. What's fascinating about what you said, Nermeen, is that it's a full day from sunrise to sunset,
Yeah.
right? So you do your usual activities, but you have to adapt, right? So that I think that's really fascinating what you said, because when you were talking about what you said, it's like what you do on a daily basis. Like it's like you're still busy, but you have to find a way to to do the fast, which I think shows how resilient and adaptable the person is.
Yes, yes. And Miko, just to add to it, see, the reason we fast is, yes, it does build your resilience. It does teach you patience. It teaches you, what hunger, when you're not eating something for such a long time, you really know what hungry, and you feel how it must be for people who don't have food, so it does help you to reflect a lot. And that, I think, fasting, the main purpose of fasting is to have patience, is to reflect on, you know uh, sometimes reflect on other people's hardships, because you know that in the world people are hungry, there are poor countries, they don't have food to eat. So you will not know how they suffer unless you go through it yourself. I think that's the other thing that fasting teaches you. It teaches you to reflect on all these things.
Yeah, I agree. I was educated by Alpha yesterday. He said that charity is a big part of Ramadan, and I think that's something that you learn when you yourself go through the fasting process.
Yes.
Nermeen, we have a question here. It's from Frank. He's asking, would you personally fast if it weren't obligatory, subject that you are healthy? What are the benefits for yourself? I think he's asking, would you yourself fast despite not it being required?
I would definitely fast, because I've seen a few advantages of fasting. Okay. um, I feel that you feel a bit more healthier when you fast. You I think in terms of your mind, you have better clarity. When I'm not fasting, I feel like I'm too dependent on food. I feel I'm too dependent on caffeine. You have those afternoon slumps, when you are working, and then if it's 3 p.m., you kind of get like your energy levels go down, and you feel lazy. So I stopped feeling all those things because of fasting. I don't feel that anymore. I don't miss my coffee in the afternoon. I don't need it. I feel like my body has adapted to it, and I don't need it anymore. And that's why I think it's really good. And fasting does have a lot of health benefits as well. I think it detoxifies your body. And that's the reason why even a lot of health practitioners and people who are weight, they are actually trying to get into fasting. There are phone apps about fasting and intermittent fasting. So I think everyone is into it.
Yeah.
So I would personally do it because I have felt the benefits myself, and I really enjoy it. I enjoy fasting.
That's really good to hear, Nermeen. Um, now we actually wanna I wanna go on to a fun segment in our chat.
Yeah.
Could you talk us through what types of food you prepare during Ramadan?
Yes, I can. And I've actually set my table just to show you. I usually don't set my table so early. I usually have it ready by 5:30. But just you especially, I have worked in for like 2 hours, and I have got this ready. I'm
Thank you
happy.
so much.
Would you like me to show it to you right now?
Yes, yes, please. Yes, please.
So I'll just have to, please don't mind my hands. I just need to, I, um, how do I change the direction of the camera?
Or maybe you can just lift up
Oh,
and
do you want me to do that? Okay, cool.
that's
All
fine.
right. All right. So, sorry. I don't know if you can see that. That's my table.
Yes, we can. It's
It
beautiful.
it is so small, the screen for me. I really can't see it well. But anyways, I'll try my best. Okay. So so firstly, let me show you this. The most important thing when we are I just can't get this angle right. Okay. The most important thing when we break our fast, we need dates. Can you see the dates there?
Yes.
Can you? It's in a green bowl with some almonds.
Yes, we can see the plate. Yeah, we can see it.
Oh,
The dates with the almonds. Yes.
why can't I see it? Okay. Oh boy, okay. I wish I had a better way of doing this. Okay, anyways, all right. As long as you see it, Miko. So we open our fast with dates. That's what's that's the traditional way of opening the fast. But you can open your fast with anything. You can even have just water and it's fine. Okay. So, do you see these glasses with some red drink?
Yes.
So we call this sherbet, and it's very common in the Asian subcontinent. It's basically it's sometimes we use things like rose syrup.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a particular flavor. It has a very floral flavor, and we just add it to water. And the reason we like to have it in Ramadan is because it's very refreshing to drink it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just a traditional thing. We also have something called ruabza, which is, I'm sure, every person from Pakistan, from Bangladesh, even the Middle East, they would know what it is. Okay, so it's just like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a syrup that is made of different kinds of flowers. And it just has a very delicate and a very fragrant taste. Okay. All right. So after that, I will show you. Do you see the rice?
Yes. Is that biryani?
No, it's not biryani. Biryani is a very popular dish in Ramadan and in general everywhere in the Asian subcontinent. This is something called Afghan pulao, and it's just rice, and it's made with onions and carrots. You cannot see the carrots because I've actually cooked it quite well. So, and it's also got a few spices in it. It's got cinnamon, cloves, cardamom. What else? Some black pepper. And yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. So it has a nice spice to it, but at the same time, it's not too spicy. Okay.
Looks good.
Thank you. Okay, and then we've got. Can you see that? It's like a chicken dish. It's something like chicken kadai. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's just like a chicken gravy in tomatoes. Tomatoes. Okay.
Yes.
And then can you see this? Can you see this? They are fritters.
Yes. The fried fritters.
Yes. So these are very, very popular in Ramadan everywhere, like especially in the Asian subcontinent. We call them pakoras. Have you heard of that?
Yes, I have. Yes.
Okay. So pakoras are basically, they're fritters, and they are made of gram flour. Okay, so that's like lentil flour. And what you do is you can put a lot of things in the lentil flour. You can put vegetables. You can, in this particular fritter, I've put potatoes, and I've put spinach, and I've put onions. So you mix it all up, and then you just fry it. Okay, so that's called pakoras. You can make it with so many things. You can even make it with chicken. You can make it with boiled eggs. You can make it with eggplant. It's all about, just dipping it in the lentil flour, which we call besan. That's what you call it in Hindi and in Urdu. And you just fry it. So that's a very popular snack for iftar. Okay. And then, of course, the triangle shaped things are samosas. Samosas are just, they're just, I don't know how to say, they just have vegetable fillings in it. They can also have some meat fillings in it. You can make it from scratch, but you also get it very commonly in the supermarkets. Okay, so I've got the ready-made ones. I'm a bit lazy, so I got the ready-made ones.
That's okay. Yeah, you're preparing a lot of food. That's okay,
All right. And can you see something with yogurt?
Yeah,
I'm really sorry because I'm really not able to see what I'm showing you.
that's okay.
Yeah. Can you see something that's got yogurt in it?
Is it the one behind the rose drink?
Uh, are you talking about this one?
Oh, sorry, that's hummus.
That's hummus. Yes, you've got it right. So that's hummus. And hummus is a very popular Middle Eastern dip. I'm sure everyone knows about it in Australia, so I don't have to say because it's there everywhere. And
Mm,
we just dip it with bread and eat it.
mm,
Okay, so it's made of chickpeas.
mm.
All right. And then I've just got some sandwiches here, nothing special. They're just scrambled eggs. And, sometimes I have boiled egg sandwiches,
Mm.
chicken sandwiches. So just, it's filling. It's nice to have it in
Yeah,
Iftar. Okay.
you're making our viewers hungry. Farah said, it's making her hungry.
Well, as long as they can get a good view, I'm happy with that because
Yes,
I
yes.
have no idea what I'm showing you guys. Okay.
That's okay. No, we can see it. You're doing a good job, Nermeen. Thank
Okay. Did I miss out anything,
you.
Mickey?
I think you mentioned that we have some yogurt.
Yes. So this yogurt dish, can you see that?
Yes, yes, we can
Yeah.
see.
So this dish is we call it dahi vada. Okay. So dahi it means yogurt, and these are basically lentil dumplings that are dipped in yogurt, and they're spiced, and they have the flavor of spices. So in Indian cooking we use a lot of spices, we
Yes.
use a lot of onions, we use a lot of ginger garlic. So just remember, whenever you go and eat in an Indian place, just be ready for all the spices.
Mm, mm.
All right. I think that's about it. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the last thing you have some fruit.
Yeah, just have some. Yeah, so fruits, obviously fruits are good for health, and it's good to have some in iftar. And you can really make iftar very, very healthy, and that actually adds more value to your fasting. Okay, sometimes we do tend to eat fried foods, which is, by the way, not good for health, unless you're doing it in an air. But things. So I've just got some pomegranate and orange. Yeah.
Nice.
So yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nermeen, for showing us your feast. Yeah, it's really intriguing that you have different food groups represented. You have your fruit, then you have your sort of your carbohydrates, you have your flatbreads, and then you have your dips, right? You have the yogurt, and then you have the hummus, and then you also have a little bit of protein there. So it's very it's a balanced meal, which I think is very important after a long day of fasting.
Yes, that's right, Miko. And if you speak to people from different cultures, they have different things on their iftar table. So we call this iftar table. And I think if you were going to speak to someone, say from Morocco or from Algeria, they would have a special soup. They have a traditional soup that they when they're breaking their fast, which is so healthy. So I think everyone has, uh, different items that they, have on their iftar table. But what I showed to you is quite common. I mean, if you ask this to, Indians or Pakistanis or, anyone from the Asian subcontinent, they would know all these. They would be like, oh, we know it. We eat it every day.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Every culture has its own nuances. It's different region to region.
Yes.
Speaking of that, Nermeen, because we live in Australia, and as you know, Australia is a multicultural community.
Yeah.
It's a country of migrants, but despite that, a big majority of the population is still, the local Australians. What is something that you want to tell Australians about Ramadan?
Um, I tell them that Ramadan is a very special time for, And if you have any questions about Ramadan, if you have if you have something that you would like to know about it, or even if you have something that you don't like about it, speak to us, ask us questions. I think that's what we want. I If people start communicating more, they are curious about each other, and then they ask questions, a lot of misconceptions go away, and then they realize that, oh, it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not that bad. So I would tell all the Australians that, if you have any questions about any, not just Ramadan, but of any other cultural thing, always ask people about it, and don't think that you would offend them. I think the people that you're asking questions to, they are happy that you are actually thinking about it and that you want to more about it, and that itself is a very positive thing. So um, so I, I i also think that we as Muslims, I think we should um, host parties for non-Muslims, because it kind of helps them to understand better uh, what the culture is. So I think, yeah, I would just say that be open, ask questions. If there's something that you don't get, or if you find something that is unreasonable, and you want to verify it, just ask us. That's just ask us. We will be happy to ask. We'll be happy to answer your questions, and that's what I do with the other cultures as well.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point, Nermeen. Just ask. Just talk to someone. Just
Yeah,
ask. I think I think what I've noticed. I've been living in Australia for 2 years, and Aussies they're just curious,
yeah, yeah,
and I think for most of them, they just ask, and I think that's a good starting point. It creates conversations. It sort of demystifies things about other cultures.
yeah,
If we just talk, and yeah, I think that's a really good point that you raised. Thanks, Nermeen. We're just about to wrap up in a while, but I think before we go, I just want to ask like one question, Nermeen.
yes.
What's your most favorite part about Ramadan?
My most favorite part is when we have the iftar, when we break the fast, because we really come together as a family. We sit on the table, we eat together, and the reason why I think it's really nice is, because I feel that people are, no longer having that much family time. Uh, because they're busy, because there's work. Sometimes people come late from office, and then you don't think of dinner with your family, right? You don't think of sitting on the table and just spending time with your family. And I think the thing about Ramadan is that it forces you to come together on the table. Like, you just have to come on the table. You've got too much work. um, you still need to come home and have some food, break your fast, and then go about it. So I think it's a really nice, it really reconnects you with a lot of people, with a lot of community members. um, and the social aspect of Ramadan, for Muslims, is good, I think.
I
So
think
that's what I
yeah,
like about it. Yeah.
yeah, I think that's really interesting, Narmeen. What I like about what you said is coming together as a family.
Yeah.
To me, what that means is you get to spend time together,
Yeah.
because time is the only thing that you can never get back, right? Money, possessions, material things, you can get that back, but time is something that you can never get back. So I think that's a nice thing about what we're observing here in Ramadan.
Yes.
During Iftar, your families can come together. You will break the fast together. You will share food together, because
Yes.
yeah, with our busy lives, we sometimes eat alone for dinner or get takeout. So this is a good time for us, for the communities to come together and spend some quality time together.
Yes, absolutely, Miko. You couldn't have said it better. Yes.
Thank you so much, Nermeen. I think we will wrap it there. I've learned so much today. I've learned so much about what your beautiful apartment looks like, Nermeen. And I also learned what you're having for iftar today. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, Nermeen.
Thank you so much, Miko. I really enjoyed doing this and talking to you. Thank you.
Yeah. And we also want to say thank you to everyone for watching our live stream. And we will see you next time. See you.
Bye.